I would like to announce that a quorum is present, the meeting is duly called, and a notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. The time is 6 p.m. The following board members are in attendance: Catherine Sells, Dr. Betty Bonner, Sheila Taylor, Allison Lasan, Michelle Akateb, and Dr. Stacy Barker, and Jenny Prosnick. I've asked board member Betty Bonner to lead us in prayer.
Thank you, Ms. Prosnick. Dear Lord, we ask you to join us this evening as the board and our parents and students, staff members, and community come together to discuss a terribly important concern facing the district. We ask for your hand of wisdom and guidance to lead us this evening in our discussions. And we ask further for ears to hear and eyes to see and hearts to understand one another as we discuss the matter at hand. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. The next item on the agenda is a presentation on the boundary line adjustments and school retirements for the Hebron High School feeder. I understand that administration has a presentation this evening. Following that presentation, we will move on to the next item, which is public comment and receipt of feedback of this information. Item C, receive feedback and boundary line adjustments and school retirements in the Hebron High School feeder. Dr. Rapp.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to say thank you to all of you for being here this evening and for engaging with the school district on this very important matter regarding our school retirement proposal and boundary adjustments as we face declining enrollment in our school district. We know that there is not a more difficult conversation to open up in a community than what we're here to discuss tonight, and we thank you so very much for your participation and for being here to give us feedback. And with this, I will offer up the proposal this evening. First and foremost, the proposal addresses the enrollment decline that's occurring in each of our 5 LISD feeder patterns. It takes into account current and projected utilization and space in neighboring schools and facilities. We reached our peak enrollment in 2016-17 at about 53,000 students, and we're currently at 47,000 students. And as our enrollment has continued to decline over the next decade, what our demographer projects is that we will hit about 45,000 students. But in a report even as recent as last Monday at the board meeting, the demographer projected we may hit 44,000, and we tend to fall a little bit below where the demographer projects, which means you could be looking as low as 42 or 43,000 students. We know that ultimately when you have over 540 students that in the school district, that means that schools qualify for additional specials teachers. And as our enrollment has declined, the experience across our campuses has been impacted as certain campuses end up with additional specials and certain campuses do not. We also know with additional enrollment comes additional support in the form of counselors and assistant principals. We know with the current economy as well that LISD does project some operational savings along with the projected savings that would go up over time as inflation continues to hit the district hard. And then we know that our board has some options for buildings that are retired, which would be repurposing and or leasing the building to generate additional revenue for the district, or selling the land and the building to generate additional funds. The school retirement proposal for the retirement of Polzer Elementary STEM Academy impacts the neighboring school of Hebron Valley Elementary. The retirement of Polzer and the joining with Hebron Valley Elementary is that all students would continue on to Creek Valley Middle School, as they currently are zoned for now. In the early 2000s, Polzer had 600-plus zoned students. It now currently has 244 zoned students. Hebron Valley Elementary is built as a bigger building. It's built to hold over 960 students and is forecasted over the next 5 years to be between 50-ish to 44% facility usage. The current enrollment of Hebron Valley is 322 students. With the open facility space at Hebron Valley, the school would be identified to be the STEM Academy for the Hebron feeder, and students who currently attend Polzer and are zoned to attend Creek Valley Middle School STEM would be able to go on to the Creek Valley Middle School STEM Academy by attending Hebron Valley. The larger footprint of Hebron Valley would also allow for accommodating students who currently are on a wait list to attend a STEM Academy in our school district. So the proposed changes for Hebron Valley Elementary, it would have a projected enrollment of 837 students. It currently has 424 students. As I said, Hebron Valley has a larger facility footprint the way that it was built, and at one time in the early 2000s, Hebron Valley had over 800 zoned students. It currently has 305 zoned students. All of the students would participate in the STEM and engineering curriculum, and then all of our students would continue to benefit from another STEM Academy specials teacher, which would be a computer science teacher, along with an additional counselor and assistant principal. We know if you've been in the pre-K program at our Polzer STEM Academy, you've had priority to be able to participate in the STEM Academy, and we would continue to ensure that that priority exists at Hebron Valley. Students who are on a transfer to Polzer, whether they're in district or out of district, would have a spot at Hebron Valley as well. If a student is on a transfer and does not want to continue on to Hebron Valley, then they could apply for a transfer somewhere else in our school district or return to their zoned neighborhood campus. We know ultimately that all of our elementaries serve special education programs, our self-contained programs. We do not repeat those self-contained programs across all of our schools. It is not uncommon for our school district to relocate special education programs across the district separate from school retirement based on facility needs or staffing needs that may arise. Over the last several years, we've relocated numerous special education programs where we relocate the students and the staff together when that happens. We know that ultimately, in order to accomplish these changes, that Hebron Valley has been home to 2 tuition-based Discovery pre-K academies and 1 ECSE and ESL pre-K program as well, and these programs would be relocated to Memorial Elementary in this proposal. Hebron Valley's also housed 3 special education COM programs. These would be relocated to Castle Hills Elementary. We know that Polzer STEM Academy has housed 3 co-teach pre-K early childhood special education program as well. All 3 of those programs would be moved together to Indian Creek Elementary. And then Polzer has also been home to 2 of our AVLS programs and 2 ALS programs, and all those programs would be moved together as well, and they would be relocated to Homestead Elementary. So this is the proposed boundary map. You see there the uniting of the boundaries between Hebron Valley and Polzer Elementary STEM Academy as one big proposed boundary adjustment. And then we have additional boundary adjustments in the Hebron feeder as well. We are proposing adjusting the Creek Valley Middle School attendance zone boundary also. We know that the adjustment of the Creek Valley Middle School attendance zone boundary would address a low efficiency assessment score that Creek Valley has. The optimal capacity for Creek Valley is over 800 students, and the current enrollment there is 407 students. And it's scheduled over the next 10 years right now to fall between 345 and 360 students. Currently, Coyote Ridge Elementary is a split feeder school. Students from Coyote Ridge either attend Creek Valley Middle School or Killian Middle School. This proposed boundary change that we're bringing forward tonight would have all students from Coyote Ridge join together to attend Creek Valley Middle School. So the projected enrollment at Creek Valley Middle School would go up to over 700 students. Coyote Ridge students that were originally west of 121 that were zoned for Killian would now attend Creek Valley Middle School. Hebron Valley Elementary would remain zoned for Creek Valley Middle School. And ultimately, we know that students who are attending Killian Middle School that live inside this boundary, if they are a sixth grader, current sixth grader, they could apply for a transfer to be able to stay at Killian Middle School. If they are a rising eighth grader, then board policy allows them to stay at Killian Middle School and be grandfathered, and any siblings that they have would be able to stay at Killian Middle School as well. So there's the proposed boundary map. You have the Coyote Ridge boundary there on the left, and then on the right you have the new Creek Valley boundary, where the section that is to the left of the green line that was zoned for Killian would now belong to Creek Valley Middle School in this boundary adjustment. We have posted all of these materials online, along with posting all of the video that's collected tonight, so that everyone in the community can watch the feedback that is given this evening. We've been posting frequently asked questions as well, and after this meeting is over, we'll continue to add to that FAQ document and encourage everyone to stay up to date by going there also. And again, thank you for being here, and with that, Madam President, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Rapp. Public comments are next on the agenda. The sole item on our agenda today relates to potential boundary line adjustments and school retirements in the Hebron school feeder. We are here to listen to your feedback and input about this specific topic. Comments on other topics or about potential changes in other high school feeders will not be permitted at this meeting. We're here to listen to you, but please understand that we are not able to respond directly to comments or questions posed by speakers. I know that many of you have stepped away from your evening responsibilities to be here and give your input, and we understand that your time is valuable. To ensure that we can get to each speaker within a reasonable period of time, the following procedures will apply to public comment tonight. Each speaker must have registered to speak online by 12:00 p.m. yesterday, Wednesday, November 20th. Speakers who registered online should have checked in with the staff by 6:30 and received an assigned number. If you haven't checked in, this is your last opportunity to do that. I will call speakers up to the microphone in numerical order. These are odd numbers, these are even numbers. We will hear comments first on potential boundary line adjustments. Once those comments are complete, we will hear comments on potential school retirements. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes. When your number is called, please make your way to the front. We will call speakers up 2 at a time so that the next speaker is ready to move quickly to the podium when their turn comes. Please respect each speaker's opportunity to be heard and refrain from any disruption during or in between speakers. Return to your seat once your time has expired so the next speaker can get to the podium. Please limit your comments to the potential actions directly impacting schools in the Hebron High School feeder. We ask you to focus on your campus only and refrain from disparaging or negative remarks about other campuses. Please be courteous and respectful to others in making your comments. Finally, we want to thank each of you for being here. The sole purpose of this meeting is to share information with you and to hear your input about these important issues. We are very appreciative of those who have reached out to the board and staff via email or other means to express themselves respectfully about these difficult issues. Speaker 1.
Thank you. My name is Claire Walker, and I am the proud parent of 3 Hebron Valley Huskies and will be at the school for 8 more years. That's a long time. I have listened to many Polzer parents speak about the many accolades of their school, as they are clearly passionate about their culture and community. I do not need to reiterate what you've been told by these families tonight and at previous board meetings. I do, however, want to tell you about Hebron Valley. We attend Hebron Valley for the individualized attention and support, strong communication, the small community and family-friendly culture, diversity and inclusive environment, small class sizes, and high teacher retention rate. My kindergartner currently has the same teacher his two older brothers had, and Ms. Hamblin was recognized a few weeks ago for 35 years of service with LASD. We are focused on creating a kind, nurturing, positive, and well-rounded learning environment. In a recent survey, 98% of parents were satisfied overall with our school. I'm very concerned about the logistics and impact of consolidating two schools, both with very different goals and cultures. We need specific plans to address the challenges of integration, such as accommodating double the enrollment without sacrificing our school's identity and quality of education. What support will there be to ensure the integration is seamless for teachers, families, and students? With 5 schools possibly closing, will the district have boots on the ground at all the receiving schools to provide additional assistance? Size matters, which is why we were chosen to receive these 515 extra students. We have a bigger footprint only because we have more classrooms. Our library, music room, nurse's office, parking lot, and other common areas aren't large. How will you ensure there's enough space for everyone? Will our lack of common meeting spaces force extracurriculars to become more restrictive or limited? Will the parking lot expand to accommodate the extra traffic? We need better answers on how Hebron Valley is expected to become a STEM school. Will you support Hebron Valley teachers in obtaining STEM certification within a reasonable timeframe? And what will happen if they choose not to become certified? Are they expected to work a longer school day without additional pay? Are specials teachers expected to have double the students with no extra support? What options will our teachers and staff have, and will you push out our beloved tenured teachers to make space for current STEM certified teachers to come in? We are counting on you to not forget about the current students at Hebron Valley. We need reassurance, strong communication and transparency that you have our students in mind and will not forget their needs as you move forward with this decision. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes all the speakers that we have who signed up and checked in for boundary adjustments. Next on the agenda would be retirement. I would ask that you state your name before you begin speaking. So speakers 3, speakers 4.
For giving us the opportunity to voice our thoughts and concerns. My main concern for the proposed plan is its impact on current bus routes and dismissal times. As far as bus routes go, we know Polzer STEM Academy currently has 4 routes and Hebron Valley has 9. By combining those and possibly adding more or longer routes due to the projected increased number of students, as well as their distance from Hebron Valley, is something that needs to be taken into consideration. So we have some questions about the traffic that will come with an elementary school and middle school sharing one road. How efficiently can Hebron Valley handle 13+ routes at once? How will the high school and middle schools be affected by buses not being available or late for their dismissal due to the elementary's longer routes and possibly later times? My friend's son, who currently attends Creek Valley, doesn't get home until 5. When his bus runs late, he doesn't get home until closer to 5:20 or 5:30. This proposal could affect more than just the close to 500 Polzer families. Also, has CEC discussed Creek Valley and the new Hebron Valley STEM School's dismissal time? As of now, the dismissal traffic does not overlap. Hebron Valley dismisses at 3 o'clock. Creek Valley dismisses at 4:10. Polzer STEM Academy dismisses at 3:25 because of the extended time due to the extended curriculum. And on a good day, we can get our families through the car line and out of the way of Polzer Road in 25 minutes. That's with our current enrollment. I have been working the dismissal car line at Polzer STEM Academy for years, which a lot of these parents could attest to. And I've seen the traffic congestion that comes from just our families on the road and what happens when buses are late for pickup or don't pick up. As you know, our school hosts many transfer students who rely on parent drop-off and pickup. Parents often start the dismissal car line close to 45 minutes before the bell. If Hebron Valley's dismissal time overlaps or interferes with Creek Valley's dismissal time, it'll cause the traffic to jam on Creek Valley Boulevard. This will include passing traffic, incoming and outgoing families from both schools, not to mention any teachers needing to leave at the end of their contract time or earlier. If there are any after-school events or clubs, we won't have the school speed limit to help control the flow of cars passing through such a busy area, and parking is already questionable at Hebron Valley. My friend, as a parent who would pick up children from Hebron Valley Elementary when they attended it, would often have to wait on Hebron Parkway while trying to get to Hebron Valley pickup line. That was when Hebron Valley only had 4 classes per grade level with a 3 o'clock dismissal. Now imagine there's double that amount of students and their parents trying to pick them up, as well as the buses and daycares. That traffic is going to cause problems at the intersection. Now we haven't even discussed the mornings. How early will these elementary students need to catch the bus in the morning? When my friend's children attend in Hebron Valley, they'd have to be out waiting for the bus by 6:50 a.m. Our friends on the same route had to be at their bus stop by 6:40 a.m. She lives closer to Hebron Valley than our Polzer families do. So do you expect families to wait for a bus at 6:30 a.m. or earlier? Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 5.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Hurt. I teach first grade, and I'm also a parent of LISD children. I moved to Carrollton for our children to attend the neighborhood schools because of the LISD reputation, and more specifically because of LISD's special education reputation. So thank you for the time to listen to my examples of what makes Polzer special. I have been in education for 19 years. I've taught at a charter school in South Oak Cliff for 10 years. I helped create their dual language program over 15 years ago, and I thought I knew dedication to a cause. When my family moved to Carrollton, I got the opportunity to work for CFB, and I served an underprivileged community that deserved good teachers for their kids, and I thought I knew dedication to a cause. When I was given the chance to give back to the district that gave so much support to my children, I jumped at the opportunity. That leap was to Polzer. Within weeks, I knew that I had found home. The home I had been searching for. As a team, we flourished. We were able to add quality experiences to our polar bears. We keep adding to the first grade experience because we have been a consistent team for the last 3 years. We plan, we collaborate, we teach with rigor, we extend lessons to grade-wide projects, we inspire each other, we push each other, we support each other in ways that I have not witnessed in my entire career, with hundreds of other teachers that I have worked with. Now, we all have our strengths, but when we are put together, we are a strong team. We have started the Loose Change Project, where our students raised over $300 in coins for our math literacy. We didn't just talk about it, we put it to life. The students bought, they spent, they also donated $60 in quarters to our PTA to give back to their community. We introduced the Poetry Cafe to teach them that poetry is meant more than just rhyming words. They were given the stage to express themselves in front of a room stuffed with supportive adults. We also do story time with first grade, where we collaborate with Public Library, and we connected families to the library card so that they could have a love for reading. And of course, our chickens. We hatch and we raise them. Everybody knows about our chickens. We hatched 10 chickens last year. Kids could come by the engineering room and watch them. They saw them on the live stream in classrooms. Parents were texting us at 2 a.m. to let us know our chicks hatched. The school fell in love with Kevin, our first hatched chick. Students stopped by each morning to get their daily dose of chicks before heading to class. That was priceless. Now I know dedication. Because we do so much together to give these students the skills that are going to lead them to greatness in this fast-paced world, I don't have...
Thank you. Speaker 6.
Hello, my name is Alexandria Finkley, and I'm a proud second grade teacher at Polzer. I would like to begin by expressing how incredibly proud I am of the students who have written and given speeches, not only from our feeder, but the district as a whole. These young leaders have shown courage and maturity far beyond their years. They have inspired me to stand up and speak before you tonight. It is my hope that everyone here will not only stand with these students, but actively advocate for them. Our state government has placed us in this awful predicament. We find ourselves in a situation where where it will not be possible to avoid altering our students' learning paths. Each one of the students on the retirement list have done a wonderful job of educating our students. It is funding schools with a budget from 2019 that has brought us where we are today. We have all felt the effects of rising living costs without corresponding increases in income. Our state government brags about a $32.7 billion surplus that has been built as the expense of our children, and they have held the students of Texas hostage while they fight for vouchers. I urge you to advocate for our public schools. Call out our state government because they are the individuals responsible for school closures. Our board has been tasked with trying to minimize the number of students negatively impacted by school retirements in our district, a task which, no matter the decision, will leave some members of our community mourning the loss of their beloved school. Of the 5 campuses being considered for retirement, I come to the board tonight to talk about our school community at Polzer STEM Academy in an effort to persuade you to save it. Polzer has the largest number of students enrolled along with the lowest cost per student to operate. We also have the largest number of minority and second largest number of economically disadvantaged students from the list. Research has identified both of these groups as having the greatest difficulty overcoming the disruption caused by school closures. We ask you to keep this in mind when you weigh your options to find balance between financial gains and educational costs. Closing Polzer would not only impact their immediate learning, but access to quality STEM education and limit their futures in an increasing technology-driven world. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 7.
Good afternoon, esteemed board members. My name is Tatiana Oni. I am a first grade teacher at Polzer Elementary, and I stand before you today as one of many champions for the students of Polzer Elementary. At the core of my plea is the well-being of our special needs students in our ALS and AVLS programs. These students have flourished in an environment that provides not only specialized academic support, but also social and emotional stability. For many, this school has been a place where they've built lasting relationships, found their voice, and developed the confidence to face the challenges they encounter in the world. The proposed retirement and relocation of these students to Homestead Elementary will disrupt not only their education, but also the critical relationships they formed with their peers. By closing this school and sending them to another school, we risk isolating these students from their support networks. The sense of community and belonging that has been nurtured here would be lost, leaving many students with a deep sense of uncertainty. Beyond the emotional impact, the social repercussions are significant as well. Inclusion, understanding, and empathy are essential life skills that all of our students learn by interacting with their peers. Members of staff have collaborated at our school to establish Polzer Pals, a program that focuses on teaching students about inclusion and building genuine friendships between students in ALS, AVLS, and general education. These students benefit from being part of a diverse, inclusive community where they are not defined solely by their differences, but are valued for their unique abilities and contributions. Furthermore, I ask you to consider the critical role that our specialized STEM curriculum plays in the lives of these students. STEM learning fosters problem solving, creativity, and practical skills, critical components that enable ALS, AVLS students to transition more successfully into adulthood. The opportunity to engage with technology, engineering, and science in ways that are accessible and meaningful is invaluable for students who often face additional barriers in their education. Moving them to another school without these resources will only limit their opportunities and hinder their growth. In conclusion, I urge you to reconsider the decision to close this school. The impact it will have on our students, especially our special needs students in the ALS and AVLS programs, cannot be overstated. They deserve the chance to remain in a school that values their individuality, supports their growth, and keeps them connected to the peers and teachers who have helped them get to where they are today. I ask you to keep our school open, not just for the sake of these students, but for the sake of our entire community. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and your commitment to ensuring that all students have the opportunity to thrive.
Thank you. Speaker 8.
Good evening. My name is Megan Carney, and I spoke at the most recent board meeting about the quality of the Hebron Valley building in comparison to the quality of the Polzer building. The cost to make Hebron Valley even comparable to Polzer in efficiency would cost LISD millions of dollars. How much does LISD plan on spending to update the Hebron Valley campus if Polzer is retired? Increasing or doubling the amount of students in the building would take a critical amount of money. Since we are trying to essentially save money and show that the state that we are an efficient district, closing a high-quality, efficient, updated building and then spending millions of dollars on a bigger, out-of-date, and efficient building isn't demonstrating efficiency and or resource stewardship in any way. As the board and the CEC have pointed out in presentations and at previous board meetings, data has shown that our district will only be getting smaller in the future, not growing. Hebron Valley's enrollment is said to be 361 for the 24-25 school year. Polzer's enrollment for the 24-25 school year is estimated to be 497. Why is the plan to move almost 500 students instead of moving a smaller number of 361 students to surrounding schools? I do not understand the purpose in keeping a larger, inefficient, outdated, and more expensive building that will never be full again. Again, as stated by the board and the CEC, LISD is trying to show the state that we are an efficient district by having full buildings instead of buildings at half capacity or less. When looking at the available seats at each campus close to Polzer and Hebron Valley, there are a combined number of 422 seats available when looking at the optimal capacity numbers for the 24-25 school year. If we look at the maximum capacity numbers, there are 1,442 seats available within the same surrounding schools. We should be using the boundary line adjustments to make all of the smaller elementary school buildings surrounding Hebron Valley at capacity, since the current enrollment is the largest enrollment that buildings will ever see again. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 9.
All right. Good evening. My name is Lisa Goff. I was a Central Elementary Cowboy, a Delay Harvester, a Marcus Marauder, and a Lewisville Fighting Farmer. I currently teach second grade Polzer Bears. One thing I would like you to take into consideration when making your decision is of all the campus retirement proposals shared, the Hebron Feeder is the only proposal that takes students to both a lower life percentage building and a less established STEM campus. The Flower Mound proposal has students move from one campus that was 38% to a building that's 32%, but the number of students displaced is still smaller than Polzer and can still be seen as an improvement because you will be offering these students an established STEM school in exchange. Polzer has the largest number of students impacted out of all schools on the retirement list. The Hebron proposal would send all Polzer students to a building with fewer lifetime years and more red flag systems. Hebron Valley has a great deal of necessary upgrades that would need to be addressed prior to transferring our entire school. Polzer students would not only experience a downgrade in the building they attend, but the proposal would take students from an established, award-winning STEM program with 95% NISE STEM certified teachers to one that may be NISE certified by the start of the 25-26 school year. This will be two huge adjustments for our students to overcome and will negatively impact all 500 of our students. As stated earlier, Polzer has the lowest operational cost per student. The number of students touched by the decision to close our campus would be greater than the financial gains acquired by retiring Polzer. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 10.
Good evening. I'm Sarah Goldstein, and I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of the most vulnerable population at Hebron Valley, the special education students. I currently have 3 children in special ed at HVE, a mainstream student, a comm student, and an ECSE student. The current proposal from the district removes ECSE and transfers them to Memorial, while the comms class is intended to move to Castle Hills. I could quote you statistics on autism diagnoses increasing and the imperative need for more services in schools, not less. I could explain how experts have found that early intervention at the pre-K and elementary level is crucial to helping students overcome disparities in education. I could provide research that shows that special education students struggle more than neurotypical students when it comes to change of rules, peers, routines, locations, and how these struggles can cause severe emotional and behavioral distress and academic regression. The goal of both ECSE and comms are to provide students the help that they need in order to eventually mainstream them. By bouncing these students between 3 separate schools, cultures, and peer groups, it'll be harder than ever to reach this goal. This is not to even speak about the burden it places on families with students in more than one program. There is a common sense approach to this. HVE can and should welcome all the zoned students from Polzer, as well as repatriate students who were previously transferred from HVE to Polzer. This would allow for HVE to have the space to keep its special education programs and the bulk, if not all, of its pre-K programs. Polzer transfers who are not zoned for HVE can return to their zone schools or transfer to other open feeder pattern options. Should HVE wish to become a STEM academy, it needs to be their choice, not one pushed on them by the district, which necessitates the removal of 7 classrooms of existing students. In closing, I'd like to leave you with the words from Dr. Kevin Rogers from January 2018. Quote, "I want to be crystal clear on LISD's practice regarding students served by our special education team. The number of students receiving those services in LISD has always exceeded the number established by the state. Frankly speaking, we never paid attention to the cap put in place by the state, and the district's rating suffered because we took a stand for the students who needed special education services. Our concern is, and always has been, serving each and every student who walks through our doors. We provide outstanding opportunities to all of our students and will continue to do so," end quote. I'd like to hope that this sentiment has not changed. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 11.
My name is Virginia Paltzer. I'm here tonight to be the voice of students, parents, teachers, and a community who support Paltzer STEM Academy. It is my hope, thank you. It is my hope that you, the school board, will reconsider your quest to close Paltzer STEM Academy. Education is a legacy that has been handed down through 5 generations of the Paltzer family. In the mid-1920s, William Henry Paltzer moved his family from Lebanon, Texas, to a 200-acre farm on an unnamed road in Hebron, Texas. That unnamed road is now Paltzer Road. His 5 children attended Willow Springs School, which was located on the farm during their elementary years, and later attended Lewisville ISD schools, where they all graduated. Mr. Paltzer understood the value of an education. He worked the land to provide for his family and saved enough money so that all 5 of his children graduated from college, 4 of which became educators. In 1995, when the family learned a new elementary school was to be built on Paltzer Road and named after the Paltzer family, we were honored and humbled. It was not an honor we solicited, but one we greatly appreciate. Elementary school is the foundation on which a student builds their educational goals. I hope you will not silence the voices of students privileged to attend Paltzer STEM Academy, both now and the future, but let their small voices continue to echo through the halls of Paltzer Elementary and on the playground for many years to come. Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Speaker 12.
Good evening. My name's Jennifer Webb, and I don't know how I got the number after Miss Polzer, but here I am. I'm the proud mom of 2 students who get to go to Polzer STEM Academy, and I did not know what I was going to talk to y'all about tonight because I've already sent you a lot of my information, but I recently was at church, and our pastor told a story, and I immediately thought of y'all up there on the stage, and it's a good one, so I'm going to give you the cliff notes. A shoe company sent its 2 very best salespeople to a country where people didn't wear shoes. And they bought a one-way ticket because they didn't know how long it would take to maximize the opportunity. The first communications they received from the salespeople were, "Bring us back. Nobody here wears shoes." And the second communication was, "Nobody here wears shoes. Send us every pair you have." And I thought of y'all, and I just wondered, why are we looking at this with a scarcity mindset? You know, unfortunately, Texas has said we want choice, right? And Polzer is a school of choice for the families in here, the students who choose it, the families who choose it, and all of these wonderful teachers and staff who choose to give extra every single day. We are a school of choice within the public education system. And it sounds like we have an enrollment problem. So why are we not looking at creating more schools of choice? In your suggested proposal, we are going to replicate a program. And I'm just wondering if we couldn't use our time, talent, and treasure to duplicate it. Maybe we need a second STEM program in the Hebron feeder pattern. Maybe that would get more students who are choosing private and charter and homeschooling to choose public education. I heard your demographer talk last week at the school board meeting, and I saw the looks on your faces when he said it isn't exactly a birth rate problem. It's that the students within the boundaries of LISD aren't always choosing us. So I encourage you, let's give them more reasons to choose us. Is there a committee that gets more students to choose LISD? Because if so, I'd love to be on it. You know where to find me. So I've got 39 seconds left, and I would just like to say to all the people in the room who have your white coats or who are earning your white coats, we just want to say thank you. We appreciate you so much, and we know that you go above and beyond every single day. And no matter what the decision is, we stand with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Speaker 13.
Hi, good evening. My name is Rebecca Ingram, and I have had the pleasure to be a proud Pulser Bear for the last 28 years. With the proposal of possibly closing 5 elementary schools and rezoning an additional 5 elementary schools and 3 middle schools, you're creating a detrimental impact on the students of LISD. The most underrepresented groups in STEM are females, minorities, and economically disadvantaged individuals. These are some of the most vulnerable groups in education. They can require the most encouragement and suffer the greatest setbacks when met with adversities. The impact closing Pulser could have on the STEM trajectory of these students can be far outreaching, and devastating. According to the Journal of American Medical Association, 35% of students that move schools just one time are more likely to fail a grade and 77% more likely to have behavior problems than those families who stay at one school. This research also showed that each move can put a child academically behind as far as 6 months, and changing schools can put students at a higher rate of dropping out of high school in later years. Moreover, with a larger number of students from Pulser being displaced, there will be a greater impact on the number of students reaching their full STEM potential in the workforce. It is the goal of the state and the nation to encourage students to join science, technology, engineering, and mathematic industries when they enter the workforce. These areas have shown the fastest and greatest growth. Even the LISD website shares the importance of STEM education on the future workforce opportunities for our students. My hope tonight is that you will think about Pulser Elementary, and if you must close our school, that you could just relocate us by maintaining the integrity of our STEM Academy as our entire building, not just some of the teachers. but our administration, counselors, special education, and our specials teachers. We've come with a level of excellence that our community has come to expect from the Pulsar name.
Thank you. Speaker 14.
Good evening, and thank you for your time. My name is Sean Richard. I'm a local business leader, husband, and most proud to be the father of two wonderful and bright daughters. I stand before you today with a deep passion for the future of Pulsar STEM Academy under the leadership of Principal Phelps, her amazing staff, and the students it serves. As we face financial challenges that could jeopardize the wonderful institution, I feel it is not just my duty, but all of ours to stand up and advocate for its survival. Pulsar STEM Academy is more than just a school. It is a beacon of opportunity for our young minds, our future innovators, leaders, and problem solvers. Through its focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it equips students with the skills and knowledge needed to thrive in an increasingly complex and competitive world. This academy is nurturing the next generation of scientists, engineers, tech entrepreneurs, and creators who will lead us into tomorrow's world. But Pulsar STEM Academy is facing a critical moment. There are those who believe that the cost of keeping it open is too high and not a priority. But let's ask ourselves, what is the cost of losing Pulsar STEM Academy? The North Texas Commission, the leading advocacy group for the 13 counties in DFW, and is represented by 40 different chambers of commerce, including every one in the LISD footprint, reports that we are experiencing a 3.18% job growth rate here, which outpaces the national average. Alone, the Metroplex could stand as the 8th largest economy in the world, and we are a thriving region that is dependent upon a highly skilled workforce necessary to fill the gaps in the high-demand sectors such as healthcare, technology, and manufacturing, and this all starts with schools like Pulsar STEM Academy. The Commission also believes that it's a moral and economic imperative that we do everything in our power to make every public school a school of choice, and from all the numbers it is clear that Pulsar STEM Academy is way ahead of that curve. They also support measures like improving funding levels that account for inflation that we've had since 2019, and when pressed, the measures to release the funds in the state coffers will pass this legislative session. Without Pulsar STEM Academy, we risk losing a crucial foundation for the dreams and ambitions of countless young students who may not otherwise have access to a focused, high-quality education in STEM. And ultimately, we risk stifling the progress of our community, our school district, and North Texas as a whole. Innovation thrives where education is bold and visionary, and Pulsar STEM Academy is one of those bold and visionary places. Let us not let this opportunity slip away. Let us make sure that Pulsar STEM Academy continues to be a place where young minds can dream, learn, and shape the world that they will inherit. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 15.
Hi there. My name is Elaine Outland, proud parent of Amelia, my kindergartner, and Eleanor, future polar bear. What I want to share with you today has been on my heart since learning of the possible retirement of Pulsar STEM Academy. Whether or not to speak today has been an emotional struggle. You have heard from so many articulate in such great detail that this is a bad idea to close our school. And you've also heard an emotional testimony how important our school is to our families and our community. I found myself thinking, what could I possibly say to impact the incredibly hard decision y'all are about to vote on? I thought I'd share how and why we chose Pulsar. We enrolled our daughter in preschool at the age of 3.5. It was quickly suggested that she be evaluated for speech in our zoned elementary. She was diagnosed with a severe speech impediment. We were given the option of going to her zone school homestead as a walk-in twice a week, or enroll in Pulsar half-day pre-K. I was so reluctant to send her to such a big elementary school so young. I said no. I got a call back from Ms. Cooley, the diagnostician. She wanted to explain to me in more detail about the program at Pulsar. I could hear in her voice the conviction she had about the amazing program I was about to miss out on. She was advocating for Amelia. I asked if it was possible for me to tour the school, thinking I would get a feeling if she should attend or not. When I arrived at the school, I was greeted by Miss Phelps. She boasted of the amazing program it offered. She was beaming with pride for her school. She was intense with confidence and so warming and welcome to me and Emmy. After I left, I immediately got on the phone with my husband and we decided to enroll. Miss Phelps won me. Her preschool teachers sold me. My bright and beautiful girl is thriving in kindergarten currently. We are blessed by Miss Haycraft. I am her hype girl, not that she needs it. Amazing things are happening at Polzer because of Miss Phelps, every administrator, teacher who supports her, and our kids. I understand we have a fight in Austin for money that you need. We will fight for you and with you. Please reconsider Polzer. We are very proud to be in LISD. We're even more proud to be a part of the Polzer community, which has become our family. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 16. Speaker 15? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Shane Darbone. I'm a proud dad of a Polzer fourth grader. You've poked the bear, the Polzer Bears, but thank you for this floor. Thank you for the speakers before me and after me, sharing their input and all their stats, all very relevant and important for you to hear. But I'm trying to make sense of this because of the stats I have heard and the information I have received. The building is great. The admin and staff and teachers are excellent. The community supports it. The class size is good. The STEM accolades. It's hitting all the marks. Polzer is thriving. It's an example that should be mirrored. I can't make sense of it. It's more than just the building or the teachers or the students separately. The staff, the PTA, the watchdogs, the budget. It's a collaborative effort of excellence. There's a school spirit here at Polzer that can't be ignored or mitigated. This is a school built by the Polzer community. We shouldn't dismantle it. We should duplicate it. It takes a village to raise a child, and I've seen and been a part of this village, and I'm proud of the collective effort. Everyone has done to raise our children. For my daughter, this school has been more than just learning. It has been a foundation. I cannot thank the Polzer admin, staff, and teachers enough. You have problems to fix, solutions to find, but I urge you to be creative and strong and find a better one. I believe you can, and I believe you will. By closing this wonderful school, what are we teaching our kids? That you do a great job and it doesn't matter? That's sad. That's wrong. Keep Polzer open. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 16, Speaker 17.
My name is Yolia Perez. Apparently I was too excited to get up here. But first I want to thank you, members of the board, for taking the time to listen to us pour our hearts tonight and our thoughts at this distraught time for many of us. I am a zone parent and the parent with the most kids at Polzer, 4 exactly, and 1 future one. It's because of the number of children I have attending Polzer that I've had the privilege of getting to know many of the teachers and staff personally, including those in the ALS program and the ABLS program. Polzer has not only been an answer to our family's prayers, but it's been a life-changing journey for my daughter, who is currently in an ALS classroom. Before Polzer, my daughter had to move schools every single year since the age of 3 when she started. That was due to the lack of each school being unable to provide the necessary resources and accommodations she needed with each grade level. And we are now in our 3rd year attending Polzer, and I have seen her thriving, growing, and happy as she has been able to receive the support she needed. For families like us, consistency isn't a choice. Consistency is a tool that my child and other children like her, it is an absolutely need in their little lives. You see, moving my daughter to another school guarantees regression, not just academic, but social and emotional as well. I'm sure board members are familiar with the data that proves this. What you may or may not know is that for students like my daughter, a big change like this, it affects her sleep, her eating, and most importantly, her routines. And any who have worked with neurodivergent children know that routines are what she thrives on the most. Perhaps you haven't seen how changes like this not just affect the children, but it also affects the teachers as they have to determine what exactly it will take for each individual student to feel prepared to learn and work with others. Pulsar's more than just a building. It's a place where 95% of our staff have taken extra hours, money, and sacrifices to become nationally STEM certified. By you shutting our school down, you are depriving them of the opportunity to work and to hold on to what they feel as their safe place. Their place where they can't wait to wake up and see their favorite teachers, their place of learning, their place of engagement, their academic home. It's a family-oriented environment that would take years to try to replicate anywhere else. One day, one of our Pulsar kids will take your place of employment. Have you considered what you're teaching our students with how you're holding your task? Why not give them the example of fighting for what's right and what's true and what's best for them? Our kids and staff are more than just a number. LISD is known to have the reputation it has now, thanks to people in your position who fought for what is right. If you look out, you will see that it is filled with LISD. I ask you to do what is morally right and not what you've been told to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 18, Speaker 17.
Thank you. I stand here tonight on behalf of 5 families, proud Pulsar families, who agree with everyone who's come before and how much we love our school and how much we want it to stay open. We also have looked at the data with you, and we understand that the numbers are not on our side in many of the different areas. And so if the really difficult decision comes to close our school, we know that it's more than the building, that it's the community. And so we would ask for 2 things. We would ask that the entire student body have the option to go to the same building, the same school that you would zone them for in the future. And if possible, we'd love for you to bring every teacher, staff member, and administrator that wants to come with them. And 2, we are all at Pulsar STEM Academy for the STEM program. And so we would ask that our kids continue to have a STEM pathway for the future of their education. We believe that we could do this. This would be an option given some of the numbers that we've looked at. And so again, we want Pulsar to stay open. That's our first choice. And if not, move or give the option for the entire student body to move together with as many of the teachers, administration, and staff as we can, and to maintain that STEM pathway for our kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 19.
Hello, my name is Linda Borsine. We are a family of engineers spanning 2 generations and counting. We carefully researched and selected Pulsar Elementary School for transfer. The only logical reason we are all here today must be because Hebron Valley appears to hold more students. This does not justify closing Pulsar forever, and here is why. In 2017, Pulsar was selected district-wide as one of the pilot campuses for national STEM certification, and as a result was approved for an expedited 20-year refresh with the bond and Title II funds. 2025 will be the first graduating class with a complete STEM curriculum. It is not even 2025 yet, and you are already proposing to close the school. A national STEM campus eligibility is based on 27 program indicators using the STEM protocol, which Pulsar currently meets. Hebron Valley, however, has at least 7 original facility systems with no new additions. These systems date back 35 years from 1989 and will not meet the national STEM eligibility unless addressed. In addition, Hebron Valley is still not listed for updates in the upcoming 2024 bond for 6 of the 7 items identified by your assessments this year. What is your plan to rectify the 2024 bond or raise additional funding for an expedited 20-year refresh at Hebron Valley to meet Pulsar's standards and STEM certification by 2025? I was not able to find any meeting minutes exploring options to expand Pulsar and accommodate students from Hebron Valley. I was also unable to find any discussion around the time and financial investment it will take to certify Hebron Valley as a STEM campus. This all seems to be counterintuitive and irresponsible to the district's reinforced investment in Pulsar. Would it not be more cost-effective and better aligned with LISD's vision to explore ways to expand Pulsar, making its successful STEM program available to more students? You are teaching me that the value of 0.8% of hundreds of millions of dollars is more important to LISD than fighting to protect our children's education, financial investments, and keeping our communities together. I urge you to choose leadership through tough decisions, with creative solutions exhausting all options before resorting to closure. I do not respect leadership driven by the bottom dollar. Here are some final numbers for you. 9, the number of months our families spent researching and visiting private, charter, and public schools to find and commit to Pulsar Elementary. 3, the number of minutes you all gave me to voice my input, which will never be enough.
Thank you. Speaker 20, make your way down. Speaker 19.
Good evening, members of the LISD board. My name is Liam Dovett, and this is my best friend, Terry Allison. We became friends here at Pulsar, and we are both transfer students. We are here to tell you why Pulsar STEM Academy is such an amazing place and why we love it. All of us have found a home where we belong. We love the STEM program, the hands-on learning, and the encouraging teachers. I get to learn by doing fun engineering projects and applying what we're learning in class. We don't just talk about academics or memorize facts or take a million tests every week. Instead, we work on fun projects like building a boat, roller coasters, circuits, and radios. We also have a lot of crossover between subjects throughout the day. For example, in social studies, we learned about the way that indigenous people used bison bones as tools like engineers. More than just learning, we've also made many friends here at Pulsar, and we would be heartbroken if we weren't able to stay together. Pulsar is a great school. Please help us keep our STEM education and keep us in the same school as our friends. Next, my friend Terry will share with you what he loves about Pulsar. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Terry, and I'm in 3rd grade. I've been attending Pulsar STEM Academy since kindergarten. My parents chose for me to come to Pulsar instead of the school I am zoned for because of the STEM program. There are already a lot of clubs. The club I am in is robotics, and it is very amazing. Some of the things I like about robotics are that we get to build and code the robots instead of just an already made robot. Another thing I like about robotics is that it's not just people in my grade, but people in grades 3rd through 5th. The last thing I will mention about robotics is that we get to go on a field trip / robotics competition, unlike just staying here and competing against only other Pulsar teams. I've made lots of friends here, especially the person who is standing right next to me, Liam. But if Pulsar closes down, it would be way different. Me and Liam are zoned for different schools, and we wouldn't be together anymore. He is my best friend, and it would be very sad to not even go to the same school as him. Thank you for listening to me and my friend Liam.
Thank you. Speaker 20, Speaker 21.
Hi, my name is Teresa Lomax, and I am the proud parent of 2 current students and hopefully a future kindergartner at Pulsar Elementary. I want to thank you for your time in listening to our questions and concerns. Pulsar is unique to other schools being considered for retirement. The administration at Pulsar has created a culture where staff and families are committed to STEM learning. Pulsar has achieved many awards and recognitions, including being awarded as an Apple Distinguished School from 2024 to 2027. We are a STEM school with STEM learning being integrated throughout the whole school day. Pulsar is nearing capacity because of the quality and community it offers. Transfers show a desire to be there over closer and zoned alternatives. We are one of those families. I am grateful that the district is considering keeping a STEM pathway possible for the Hebron feeder pattern in the event that the board makes the decision to retire Pulsar, but I have some concerns. Number one, how do you integrate two different types of schools? What are realistic expectations and timelines? The district has stated on the FAQ page that there will not be a gap in a STEM pathway for a feeder pattern, as it is anticipated that national STEM recognition for Hebron Valley would be earned prior to the next school year. Will Hebron Valley truly be a STEM school that is up and running at the same level that Pulsar is by the next school year? In addition, it was stated that all STEM teachers working at a STEM Academy campus are given the opportunity to register for STEM certification on a voluntary basis. I feel that teachers should have a choice in choosing to certify or not, but I am concerned that should some teachers choose not to certify, they will not be prepared to incorporate STEM in their lesson plans in all aspects of learning. 95% of staff at Pulsar are STEM certified, with the remaining being mostly new hires in the process of achieving certification. Teacher certification takes time. If we are merging a STEM school with a non-STEM school, many students may not have a STEM certified teacher next year, and their learning may not be at the STEM level we are used to. I speak for myself and several other parents that we want STEM curriculum for all students in all subjects. If this can't be achieved by August, then the board should consider not closing Pulsar or at least delaying retirement until it can be achieved. Number two, who will be the administration at Hebron Valley? Culture comes from the top down. The principal and AP at a school are instrumental in both family and teacher staff buy-in and commitment to STEM. Number three, will current certified STEM teachers be prioritized for the new STEM school and be able to stay with their teams and teach current grade levels? 4, what additional costs will be incurred by the district to newly certify a replacement school and certify additional teachers? 5, what about the COVID kindergartners who are now being moved in their 5th grade year? My daughter is one of those. This group overcame exceptional disadvantages during COVID and now are being asked to do it all over again, and then will be asked to do it again the following year when they transition to middle school. In closing, our children love Pulsar and are thriving there. They have developed a passion for learning. We want to see that continue. We know the board has a difficult decision to make, but it shouldn't be at the...
Thank you. Speaker 22.
Good evening. My name is Jenny Che. Tonight, I'd like to share some information so you understand why closing Pulsar would be a huge mistake. Dr. Rapp, you said that LISD is on the other end of the fast growth continuum. However, Pulsar is in fast growth. The Pulsar community is showing up in each and every way. We are breaking attendance records at all of our school and community events. The Pulsar community, in our first year out of Title I, has raised over $63,000 since August. From Monster Mash to book fairs to school spirit nights, we are doubling and tripling dollar amounts from a few years ago. At our Polar Bear Dash just last Friday, we not only reached our goal, but once again, we more than doubled it. The average PTA fundraising goal per student in Texas is $50 to $100 per student. Pulsar is already at $124 per student. There has been a steady increase in enrollment year after year, from 200 to 508 students, with the potential to get to 792 students if you give us a chance. Pulsar's continuing growth and success is happening organically. The administration wanted a STEM program here, and every day they continue to improve it. 95% of the teachers are STEM certified, but they are all intrinsically motivated to perfect the STEM curriculum every day. The students are engaged and successful, and now, due to word of mouth about the quality of education, parents are choosing Pulsar STEM Academy more and more. All of this is what makes Pulsar one of a kind, and Pulsar makes LISD better. It took Pulsar 5 years to get here. There is an upward momentum happening at Pulsar right now. Please do not bring this to a halt. If we start over, 5 years is too late for every Pulsar student. This year's 5th grade class is Pulsar's first grade graduating class to go through the STEM Academy since kinder. We need to hear their stories when they return for their senior walk. In 7 years, we will have a steady stream of data. The data that tells us that Pulsar alums score 5s on calculus, chemistry, and physics AP exams. The data that tells us they are going into the STEM fields and studying at MIT, Harvard, and the likes. And we can say, this all started at Pulsar. Madam President and Ms. Sells, you have supported Pulsar STEM Academy since its inception. 5 years ago, you celebrated and cheered at Polzer's ribbon cutting ceremony. Please continue to support Polzer. Esteemed board members, I urge you to do the right thing and vote to keep Polzer open. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Speaker 23 to make the way.
Good evening. My name is Sung Che, and you just heard from my wife. I can't add much to the data and the compelling arguments that my fellow parents and these amazing teachers have presented today, so I'm not going to try. I'm going to try to offer up a different perspective. I'd like to explain why I believe LISD needs Polzer. You know, we live in a really different world from when we were kids, right? We have endless options. Growing up, we used to have limited options of what we could watch and how we communicate with each other, and now you can pretty much watch anything and communicate with anyone from just about anywhere. You could shop wherever your car would take you, and now you can order things from around the world straight to your home. My point with this is we have options as well as parents, right? And you need to take a modernized approach, I think, to the problems that we're facing here. In the business world, if you take old world approaches to modern problems, you don't make it, right? Just ask the Blockbusters and the Sears of the world. You have to have a modern approach. The reality is there are so many parents here, right? You look at data points of Polzer having the smallest in-zone student enrollment, and you say that's a reason to close Polzer. I disagree. I think you're looking at that data point wrong, right? I think the fact that that same data point will tell you that Polzer has the most transfer students, right? That's got to mean something. It means that this community of families choose Polzer. We choose Polzer over schools that are closer to our homes. We choose Polzer over private schools, out-of-district options, charter schools. Isn't that what we want? Doesn't that make LISD better? We have a community of families that are engaged. Polzer impacts the community. Polzer is already STEM certified. Polzer already has dedicated STEM certified teachers. Polzer is attracting families. It's growing. That sounds like not a problem. It sounds like a blueprint for success. And in the business that I run, we build off of success. We don't throw it away. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 24, make your way.
Hello, my name is April Grant-Corvitz, and I'm a proud Polzer parent. I am also an LISD alumni. I went to Indian Creek, went to Arbor Creek, went to Lakeview, went to the Colony. I was here with the growth of Arbor Creek, and luckily my class got to stay at the Colony High School and graduate. I moved back. I'm a single parent. I moved back to LISD because my parents moved from Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD to Lewisville because of their dyslexic program, because I was diagnosed when I was young with dyslexia. I know dyslexia is inherited. I knew my child would have it. Therefore, I wanted my child to get the best education possible, and I knew that was going to be LISD because that's where I graduated from and I got the assistance from. And my teachers like Mrs. Garvin in 7th grade at Arbor Creek who helped me and put that trigger light on me to be successful at the school district when they told my parents I wouldn't even graduate from high school. I was going to put my son at Indian Creek where I went to in 5th grade. Mail piece came along, it told about the STEM Academy. My eyes lit up. As a dyslexic person, we are more hands-on than we are lectured to. We don't do tests very well, but man, you give us a paper or a project, we'll ace it. We're more creative in that way. So when I saw the STEM program, I was excited for my child. He has been there since kindergarten. He got diagnosed with dyslexia in 1st grade. He was below at a level 2 reading. I can happily say he is a level 5, over 89% in his reading. And that's huge for for somebody who has dyslexia and belief. The staff here has done amazing wonders for him. His confidence has built. He comes home excited, and he may even be sick, but he's like, I want to go to school. And I'm like, well, you're sick, you can't go. This staff has pushed him. They don't treat him differently. And the fact that he got to experience like the chickens last year, the first grade teachers, oh God, they're like the Wonder Women of the world, or Charlie's Angels. This is not a school, this is a family. My kid can walk down the hallway and the teachers know him. You can't replace that. I work at a retailer. I'm a procurement operation analysis. I look at this data like you guys do. I know it's a hard decision. We decide what stores we're gonna close or not. But we would never shut down a high profitable, high traffic store. So why are you considering to shut down a school that people want to come to, that there's a wait list, that is showing success in students, especially with learning disabilities? So I ask you as a parent and an alumni, please keep Holzer open because it is a success story and it needs to continue.
Thank you. Speaker 25, make their way. Speaker 24.
Good evening. My name is Linda Aloju, and I'm a proud parent of a second grade student at Polster STEM Academy. Through these listening tours for all these schools up for retirement, I know that each school shares the same sentiments of how wonderful their school is, how great their staff are, and how their student feels a sense of belonging to the school. But that is something that you should find in every school, as every school does strive to provide a safe and inviting environment so that all students can learn and grow. What sets Polster apart from the rest of the schools on the list is that it is a designated STEM program with its own unique systems and schedule in place to account for the engineering block and the integration of a STEM mindset through all of its courses. While a school can get STEM designation fairly quickly, it does not mean that it can produce the level of excellence that is currently in place at Polster. Mrs. Phelps, along with the entire staff, have worked over the years to transform Polster from a C-rated school to an A rating through implementing a successful PLC process, which has awarded them with a model PLC designation. There is 100% buy-in from the staff here at Polster, as 90% of them have completed the process of becoming a STEM certified teacher, with the other 5% new hires starting that process. By uprooting Polster and simply sticking it into another school within this short 7 months of time, it will dilute the years of work that has been established. In theory, since our teachers are members of the model PLC, they should be able to transcend their skills and work to transform any school they go to. This is something that takes time, as PLCs are about people, practices, and processes, and not a program. They are fundamentally a change in culture, a change that needs the gift of time. I have been a science teacher for the last 18 years in Plano ISD, which is a fantastic school district. My student has the opportunity to go through my feeder pattern to graduate and be at one of the most distinguished high schools in the state. Yet I chose to transfer him to Polster because of my belief in the importance of STEM education and LISD's commitment to providing the specific program. I, along with hundreds of other families, have changed our lives and schedules to transfer our children to the successful and award-winning STEM school. So I'm here today to request that you are intentional in the retirement of Polster as a STEM designated, Polster as a STEM designation of Polster is not the same thing as a provisional designation for the proposed school, and to dismantle this established learning community and merge schools would disrupt years of progress and create an inequitable situation for those who rely on Polster's specialized support. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Speaker 26. Speaker 25.
I'm Rodney Whitfield, and I am a proud parent of a Polster student. We are a family that chose to transfer to Polster. We live outside the boundary areas and made that choice. I stand before you. I was not sure what to say, and as you're later in the list, you hear people say things that you would say. But I want to make sure that I say them as well, that about this combining of culture. As a pastor and someone that leads an organization that has to deal with change, when you're dealing with change, it takes time, and it takes leadership to do that. And when you're trying to change culture, that doesn't happen in a few months. It takes time. And so I definitely have concerns about combining of campuses with cultures, as well as what happens with the administration around that. Secondly is that I have been a parent of also at Creek Valley Middle School and have been in that traffic, and I do not know how that will be possible and what that will do to pick up with our students, with those being directly across from each other. And then the updates that have already been said about the cost on the buildings. I think these are all important things that have been lifted up and should be talked about. But I think for me, I go back to when we made the choice of going to Pulser. We chose as a family for our child to go there because of the STEM education, because it talked about critical thinking. And I've watched my child be able to integrate things and talk in a way, and he is seen by other adults and says, who is this kid? How old is he? Because he's willing to engage in a different level. And I am concerned that whenever you take that and you combine campuses and you take teachers that are not certified but will become certified, there's still going to be a lag in education. And over the course of time, what does that mean for those students that are caught in the in-between? I think that it's important for us to have a plan and an understanding of how you will take care of that so those lags are not apparent, so that our children's education does not suffer, and that we do not lose this place called Pulser that is a place of choice and a place for us as parents to get our children the best education within LISD. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 27.
Thank you, Dr. Rapp and the board, for being able to speak tonight. Why is a school a public school? A public school is public because revenue for the school is neither divisible nor excludable. In layman's terms, this means it's for the betterment of the community. This is contrary to a business where revenue can be assigned to units sold. Permit me to remind you of the following. The vision statement of LISD is, all students are confident, equipped with the knowledge and skills to thrive and adapt to the future. The mission statement is engaging and inspiring learners and leaders. Lewisville ISD has 4 cornerstones: student learning, student experience, resource stewardship, and community engagement. All decisions regarding the district should be guided by those core principles. These principles should not be lip service only. Today we have a budget crisis that was created by 4 special sessions in the Texas House where the school maintenance and tax fund was cut by 60%. Because of this situation, Pulser Elementary's continued existence is now in jeopardy. Dr. Rapp has made it clear that we are looking at closing schools purely for money and not academics. In an email to me on November 2nd, Rapp said, quote, I think it is important to understand that academic performance is not considered by the CEC. Further explaining, quote, the committee was charged with looking at the costs that surround the facility. Fun facts, by the way. The operating cost of Pulser represents 0.0563% of LISD revenue. Pulser costs less than most schools in the Hebron feeder pattern at $882 per student and has one of the highest occupancies. Remember, Dr. Rapp said it's not about the money. The schools you're keeping open to include Hebron Valley and Hebron Creek, or Indian Creek, are much older than Pulser with millions of dollars of work needed, as exhibited by the budget. Pulser needs $18 million less than Hebron Valley alone. Pulser had some of the best STAR test scores at the master level than most other schools in the feeder pattern. Remember, Dr. Rapp, you said it's not about the money, or you said it's not about the academics, sorry. Pulser has 6 student programs including specially designed instruction, academic life skills, academic vocational life skills, early childhood special education, multisensory teaching approach, and speech. Other schools in the area have 3, not 6. Remember, though, Dr. Rapp said it's not about the student experience. If, as the above evidence indicates, that it is not about the money, nor the academic, nor the experience, nor anything else driving decision, what is it? How will the students be affected? Increased class size, lack of STEM experience, lack of specialty programs? My recommendation is you need to have a good public information officer at LISD because the problem ain't going away. It's just starting. And to my Pulser stakeholders, as a member of the community, a parent.
Thank you. Speaker 28, make your way. Speaker 27.
Hello, my name is Amber Clark, and I just want to say first and foremost, I am deeply appreciative that you all chose to be here today. I know that we were promised a majority, and it means the world that we got a full quorum this evening to hear our thoughts tonight. We've had tons of discussions. We've poured over data, we've poured over meetings, and we spent a lot of time discussing a lot of things. And anytime when I've heard about financial approaches, it's always been two-pronged. It's been how to move forward while cutting cost, but also how to move forward by generating new revenue. And it's the second aspect that I haven't been able to find any information on. We've heard at length that we need to cut the budget, but I'm asking tonight, what efforts have we made to generate new income outside of waiting for an allotment adjustment? As Mr. Che mentioned, we need new approaches to continue to be innovative and forward-thinking in our district. And I'm a little disappointed that I haven't seen. We've created a CEC to look at the data with regards to what would need to happen for a school closure, but I've never seen anything be created to look at the opposite of that, to have a big think tank of what we could do to preserve and add dollars out without having to rely on the state. I'm sure after 5 listening tours, you've seen the hundreds of people that I'm sure would sign up. We have a plethora of talent through our parents and community members, and I know that they would rally for a cause like this. To this end, I've also done a little bit of research, and I've noticed that there are several other districts that have been able to make strides in this area. Frisco has generated significant revenue by expanding fee-based extracurriculars, such as expanding ESD programs, summer sports camps, changing prices to event admissions, adding operational fees for athletics, and just those few measures alone generated over $2.5 million in one fiscal year. So I just want to make sure that if we are at this crossroads, that we have truly exhausted absolutely other alternative, and if we are there, if there is no other generating opportunity in addition to savings costs, I can support a need to make some hard choices in this. But with that, I also have concerns in the timing. As mentioned earlier, this is our COVID kindergarten class becoming 5th grade. The impact on them is almost 2 academic years to overcome. They've done that once. Can we please just maybe relook at the timing of this to give a legacy year, a legacy to get these kids from both campuses onto middle school without another hiccup, and also time for the Hebron campus to be prepared to take us on through training and their certifications and but adapting their current curriculum and lesson plans.
Thank you. Speaker 29. Speaker 28.
Hi, my name is Heather Allen. I would like to share our positive experience at Polzer STEM Academy, a Lewisville ISD school of choice. I'm a proud mom of 2 Polzer students in 3rd and 5th grade. I've been on the Polzer PTA board and been a member holding different roles since 2020. I also possess over 20 years of career experience in information technology in the DFW market. I see the shortage of technical talent every day. I see the impact that Hebron High School is making through their STEM education, through organizations I volunteer with, such as Tech Titans, where we provide a bridge to middle school and high school students to real-world career experiences and inspiration. I'm speaking today in hopes that I share some thoughts to keep our best-in-class Polzer STEM Academy open, but also further make it a model STEM Academy for the entire school district. I think with our tech talent shortage and the waiting list that was mentioned on the FAQ of over 60 for Polzer, that this is an indicator that there's definitely an appetite for STEM within our community, and specifically for elementary education. I have a 5th grader that was affected by the pandemic who started Polzer in 2019. She will also be possibly affected by this change and is currently worried that her school will be closing. She has learned a lot at Polzer, and I have a million notes here of all her amazing teachers that she has experienced in her 5 years. I think most importantly, she now not only wants to pursue golf as a profession, she also is interested in becoming a civil engineer. She would like to work with an architect to design golf courses. Gia is a world champion in golf. She earned that over last summer, but she also puts in over 25 hours a week on the golf course, in addition to her elementary education. We have, as a family, made sacrifices, but each time we choose Polzer. While other athletes that she competes with are choosing alternatives, such as virtual education or different programs that would allow them more time on the golf course, we choose Polzer. Then we do have another daughter. She's a 3rd grader. She was...
Thank you. Speaker 30. Speaker 29.
Good evening, board members. I'm Michelle Ma, and thank you for this opportunity to be able to speak to you tonight. I'm the proud parent of a 4th and 2nd grader at Polzer, and was saddened to hear that our amazing school may be retired. My husband and I are not originally from Texas, so we toured multiple schools before transferring into Polzer. Polzer has set the bar high when it comes to elementary education. At every grade level, we've had teachers go out of their way to ensure that our kids have been challenged beyond the mandatory curriculum. I've had unsolicited phone calls to simply tell me something great that my kid's doing. To say that the staff in that school go above and beyond is an understatement. They have created an engaging and learning environment that simply cannot be copy and pasted into a different building in the next 5 months. As a CPA professional in finance, I work with numbers daily. I see a couple different ways you can look at the budget. You can cut costs, or you can look at ways to grow your revenue. More students will generate more revenue. I understand that we have an issue of potential decline in enrollment. However, most of the campuses with the highest number of transfer students are those that offer STEM. That tells you that there's demand for STEM. I urge the board to consider what could happen if we were to have more STEM campuses to drive students into the district, therefore improving revenue. In the CEC meeting slides that discuss transfer students, it specifically states, quote, limiting transfers would create a possibility where families would elect to enroll outside of LISD if we took away school choice within LISD. I completely agree with this statement, but then I need to ask the question, why is our choice to attend a STEM school being taken away? The simple fact is that you cannot create another STEM environment in 5 months' time like Polzer. And the district must consider the forecasted loss of families desiring STEM if we retire a Polzer. My husband and I spent a lot of time making sure that we picked the right school for our children, and my fear is that we are going to be forced into that decision process again in December. I also urge you to consider the risk of loss of revenue that will happen from closing Polzer, as there are 260 transfer students providing $1.6 million basic allotment revenue. With saving only $475,000 to close Polzer and transfer families possibly departing LISD, the math does not add up to help the deficit. I understand that the building could be sold to make money, but we really need to think about the long-term effects of this type of decision, if it's truly going to help the deficit and the potential risk to LISD's character. With my kids in 4th and 2nd grade, they are part of the prime age groups that are going to suffer due to lack of STEM certification by teachers outside of the Polzer building. Polzer is an example of what can be accomplished in schools around the rest of the district, not what should be pulled apart. The teachers, administration, parents, and most importantly, our kids deserve better, and STEM needs to carry on. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 31. Speaker 30.
Hello, my name is Rachel Sheehy, and I'm a proud Polzer Zone parent to a 2nd grader and hopefully future kindergartner. There's so many heartfelt stories on the importance of our teachers, staff, and administration. Some of those I shared with you at the last board meeting. But tonight I want to speak to you on the importance of STEM education and smaller campus sizes. There will be a lot of numbers mentioned. Don't worry, I've already sent you some links to those in an email earlier today. STEM jobs are projected to grow over 10% between 2023 and 2033, almost 3 times faster than non-STEM jobs. STEM workers earn more. The median annual wage for all STEM occupations is over $101,000, 54% higher than non-STEM jobs. Think about the families that could bring that money and keep their families in LISD. Women and minorities remain underrepresented in STEM occupations. Pulser educates a very diverse population, with about half female, but we also serve underserved communities as well. So now let's switch to the campus size impacts. Small schools also build strong communities. You've heard about us talk about it before of how we're a family. Parents and neighbors are also more likely to be actively involved in the school. I think we have case in point here, and you've also heard some of the PTA numbers on the finances that we've helped raise. In our case, we actively walk to school every day as a family. I think most of the teachers have seen us do this too, as my youngest, who's hopefully a kindergartner, helps does traffic every morning with Miss Cassida. They're little buddies. This can have the positive impacts on mental health, reducing carbon emissions, and just special family time together every day. 46% of families say distance to school is the reason for not being able to walk or bike to school. Think about that as we potentially expand all of these boundaries and put the school further away. Also think about the health aspect from children playing outside daily near a main road versus Pulser being a neighborhood community playground in a low traffic area. This impacts the safety and the health of the children breathing the dangerous emissions that continue to grow. Hundreds of studies have found that students who attend small schools outperform those in large schools on every academic measure from grades to test scores. They're less likely to drop out and more likely to attend college. Do you know only 20% of high school graduates are actually prepared for college-level coursework in STEM majors? We can change that. With the state legislature seemingly moving away from public school support, it makes more sense for LISD to keep more small schools that need less renovations and have fewer large campuses.
Thank you. Speaker 32, make your way. Speaker 31.
Good evening. My name is Justin Lucas. My wife and I, we have a 3rd grader and a 1st grader attending Pulser Academy. Regarding the potential retirement, just some things I have some questions and concerns on. One, regarding traffic, where Hebron is situated right next to a major street. If traffic is hectic now with the students that are there, imagine what it's going to be with hundreds more there. And now you have a major street being blocked. Second one, safety officers. I understand we have a guardian program at every school, according to the state legislature. But if we're going to have hundreds more students at the same school, one officer is not going to cut it. Building infrastructure. We're talking about a 35-year-old building that has lots of shelf life, little shelf life left on it. Looking at the 2023 bond that was allocated to it, it was over $20 million, more than 10 times what Pulser was allocated from that 2023 bond. So that tells me this building needs a lot of work. Is that work going to be done, or is it most of it done? Is it some of it done for these hundreds of more students and staff members that are going to be there? Property taxes. How is this going to affect us property taxes if this school, as well as the other 4 schools, end up being closed? Is the portion of the rate that the board sets every year, is that going to stay stagnant? Is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? If it's a point where it's staying stagnant or it's going up over the years, then that just doesn't make sense if we have 5 less schools. The math ain't mathing for me. Is there a possibility that Pulser or Hebron Valley may be reclassified or renamed as Pulser to keep that STEM program that's already out there? I understand that would come at the expense of Hebron Valley no longer being around, but if we have all the options on the table, that's another option as well. Lastly, I'll just end with this. I know sometimes we've heard, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Well, sometimes life don't hand you lemons, and so what do? Well, you can accept it and move on, or you can say, you know what, I'm going to do whatever it takes by any means necessary to get those lemons. So if I got to get up, go out, get those lemons myself, and come back and make lemonade, then that's what I'm going to do. So I asked the board, as you're going through your deliberations, as you're weighing all the options as far as school retirements are concerned, especially with Pulser, are we doing everything that's absolutely necessary, doing whatever it takes by any means necessary to keep this school open? Because what this staff has done for this school, they put in their time, their effort, they have done whatever it takes by any means necessary to make sure they are on point, These kids, they have a future. They are setting them up for a future success that can't be duplicated pretty much a lot of other places. I thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 33, make your way. Speaker 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Yana Rubin, and I am an out-of-district transfer to Polzer STEM Academy. My son Seth is a fourth grade teacher, and my little one, Levi, is going to be hopefully a future kindergartner at Polzer. A lot of the points that have been made tonight that have already been made that I wanted to speak to in this presentation, so I'm actually scrapping this, so work with me here. One thing that I do want to bring up that I wrote down previously is that the numbers that you guys have listed and have now provided and the FAQs on the website just do not align for me. Yes, Polzer has a student capacity of almost 800 students. We currently are enrolled at 500. The optimal number of students is 550, but yet we turned away 60 students this incoming school year. That doesn't make sense. So to me, Polzer is at 100% capacity that the school will allow for. And these wonderful administrators and educators prove why we are at Polzer. I transferred Seth this year to Polzer for 2 reasons, equal reasons. The dyslexia program that's renowned and the STEM Academy. I am from the former communist country of Russia. I transferred and migrated here with my family 30 years ago for an opportunity. Today, I am more than excited and happy and have a sense of calmness in my heart that my sons have the opportunity to experience and to receive the absolute best education that is available. Not much has changed in Russia. Yeah, we've grown economically, but everything else to me personally looks the same as it did 30 years ago. But one thing that I will still say that is true about what I took away from my experience from my education in Russia is the highest amount of expectations set on the students and we as students being able to accomplish that. I came to this country puzzled by why, as a second grader, am I forced to be using a calculator to complete simple mathematical equations. I didn't understand that. I got penalized by that by my math teachers. Here is my son in the STEM Academy flourishing. The Dallas Metroplex area and Texas is flourishing from STEM jobs. Companies that are focused on STEM opportunities are coming to Texas, not just for our economic resourcefulness and strong opportunities that we have here, but specifically for the purposes of our talent pool. Please replicate and duplicate what we have at Polzer. Do not shut us down. Use Polzer as an example for other schools within the district. Draw in families from out of the district like Frisco has called to action most recently and also dealing with the same situation that we have here at LISD. Please support what we have built and what we are running to have from Polzer.
Thank you. Speaker 34.
My name is Seth Rubin, and I'm a fourth grader. I'm a fourth grade student at Polzer STEM Academy. I'm standing up for my school because it's a great school. I have learned a lot of stuff since I moved to the school in August of this year. The teachers at Polzer are amazing. Mrs. Swain's my math teacher, and Mrs. Scott is my homeroom teacher. And down in my heart, all the teachers at Polzer are really, really good. And I know that if the school closes down, a lot of students will be very disappointed, like I am. At Polzer, I am able to be successful with my dyslexia thanks to Mrs. Scott. I feel more confident in my reading and decoding words, plus I'm learning cursive so I can write my letters correctly. I have started to enjoy reading for fun, and now where it doesn't feel like work. The engineering and computer science classes are my favorite. I love both of these because I can get to build and work on fun projects. In engineering, we work on projects like how to keep a train on the tracks if it is being hit directly from the side. The computer science, I have developed my own computer games. I would not have opportunity to learn this if it was not a Poser, if it was for Poser being a STEM academy. If Poser was to close down, my little brother and me and other students would not be able to experience all the amazing learning we have had become because of Poser STEM Academy, like learning how to be an engineer. Please do not shut down my school. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 34.
Hi, my name is Aria Phillip, and I'm in 4th grade, and I go to Poser STEM Academy. Please do not shut down my school. I am really looking forward to my 5th grade graduation walk at Poser STEM Academy with my teachers I'm familiar with. I love this school and my teachers. I missed out on kindergarten class by taking classes online, and now I have the chance to schools to reach middle school. I am only 9 years old, and it's a lot of change for me too close together. Please give us another chance to keep Poser STEM Academy open. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ma'am, I don't have you signed up.
Oh, no, we are together.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Good evening. My name is Lisa Phillip, and I'm proud parent of 4th grader and a future kindergartner. We moved from a charter school to Poser STEM Academy and never once looked back. We're so happy with the choice of STEM Academy at Poser and is greatly satisfied with the staff and teachers of all their effort in establishing a well-established STEM program at Poser. I'm a college graduate that benefited from President Obama's STEM retention for foreign students, so I know how important STEM program is for all the students that need it. When we saw the campus, we were greatly impressed by how the library is centralized and it generated a learning and welcoming atmosphere for the students and parents. We know the idea of high transfer to Poser Academy is being pointed out as one of the reasons, but please understand there is a reason why parents are willing to go extra distance to send their kids here. But now the very thing that makes the school special is being held against us and is being penalized for it. I understand the tough decision the board faces. You are elected to this position for a reason. You are our voice to give quality education for our children. When you asked for approval of bonds, we listened, we voted. We entrusted you the use of funds wisely for the benefit of our students in our district, and you have. But we still ask, does the closure of 5 campuses benefit our students? So we ask not to shut down these campuses. It is your turn to listen. And just like we acted towards the propositions, it's our hope that you will act in favor of us. Please save Poser from shutting down. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who spoke or submitted comments tonight. Your input is greatly appreciated by the board as we move forward. I understand that you want to hear from the board, and you will have that opportunity on December the 2nd during our work session. Please note that this will be a regular work session where there will be discussion among board members on agenda items and not a dialogue with the community. Thank you so much for being respectful throughout this process. We aim to make decisions with the best interest of the whole district in mind. And with that, if there is no further business, this meeting is adjourned and the time is 7:49 p.m. Have a pleasant evening.